Speaker Roxy Jorgenson. She's going to be talking about the corporate translation gap, why your best work isn't getting hired, and the framework to fix it. This also might be solving some of all of your problems as she's been sitting here listening to some of these things. Let me tell you a little bit about Roxy. She knows most business owners think they have a revenue problem, but they actually have a trust problem. And the most expensive leaks are the ones you can't see. With 35 years in entrepreneurship, she helps people find where the trust is draining away with clients, their network, their team, maybe their posts, maybe their emails to these outreach, these outreach things, right? But she's going to help you fix it for good with her framework. Thank you so much, Roxy, for joining us, and welcome to the stage.
Thank you. You are all paying a very expensive tax that you don't even know about. Your accountant doesn't know about it either, and it doesn't show up on any of your spreadsheets, your balance sheet, and it has never been opened. But you're paying it every single day. And I'm here to tell you that no one else is going to name it here at this summit. And not today, not ever. But I will. It is called the trust tax, and it's actually bleeding you dry. I want you to give me a yes in the chat if you have ever felt like this. You have a list full of contacts and no one is calling you back. You follow up once, maybe twice, and then nothing. It's crickets. The referrals are going somewhere else, and the revenue isn't growing, and you don't know why. Come on, let's see those yeses. I know there's more than just a couple of you that have felt this way. So I want you to give me a 1 if this is something that's hitting home right now. This is a safe place. This is a place for us all to be honest, right? So let's be honest. We have this time together, and I am going to make it count for you. And I'm going to show you where there's 3 places that this tax is showing up in your business, and what each one is costing you, and how to find those leaks so that you can close them for good. Sorry. So you came because you want to close a corporate contract, right? Sorry. The one signature that is worth tens of thousands of dollars or even more to you. So some of you also have individual clients. So here's what I would like to say to you today. The door to a single client and the door to a corporate client open in the exact same way. It's the same lock and it's the same key. And it's landing one person and landing a whole company, but they're not two different skills. It is actually just how you approach it more. Both come down to whether you close the corporate gap or the individual gap, or if you've left it wide open like many people have. Your work is so good, and every corporation needs you in their room, and I promise you this. But right now, it's not getting you hired there, and that is not a talent problem. This is the corporate gap problem that you have, the trust tax issue. And today, we're closing that. So, fair warning, once you see this, you cannot unsee it. So, sorry, I need to get a drink here. Let's start with what you think your problem is. And then you can put it in the chat if you think you know what the problem is. Anyone want to take a guess at what this problem you might think this problem is? Okay, no one's going to share, but I'm going to share with you. You think you have a marketing problem. You think if you could just find the right platform, the right script, the revenue would finally match the effort, right? It would be there. You don't. You do not have a marketing problem. You have a trust problem. And look at what the chasing and the marketing answer has already gotten you. You learned the algorithm they told you needed. You posted until your thumbs hurt. And then again and again, you kept niching down because they said you have to have the niche. And then all of a sudden, you are serving a left-handed beekeeper in the Pacific Northwest. That is not what you need. You did everything that they said to do, and the revenue is still not matching the effort. So I want you to stop asking which tactic is next. And I want you to start asking, what if my diagnosis is wrong? This is a trust activation problem, and I can prove it to you in 3 minutes with nothing but your own numbers. So I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen, something you can write with, because we are going to do some math. And I promise you, it is not calculus. I don't do calculus. This is simple math. So, the kind that is going to change your business. So first of all, how much are you spending every month to find your clients? On ads, on lead gen, on events, on courses that you've taken? I want you to write that down on this piece of paper. So I'm going to give you a second. Okay? And give me a 1 when you have it in, you have that number. We don't have a very sharing crowd today, do we? I want you to be involved, because when you're involved, you're going to remember more. Okay? So next, I want you to think through all your warm relationships that you already have. People who already trust you that you have not reached out in the last 30 to 90 days. And I want you to be honest with this number. How many people have you not reached out to? Okay? I want you to write that down. Think about it. How many people? Now, how many people have you connected with that are at a corporation that you have never asked for a warm introduction to the person in charge? Or how many people do you know who have a connection at a corporation that you've never asked? Now I want you to add that number to the prior number. Then, what is your average client value? Value is not just what they would pay you for one project. What is that value of a lifetime for that client? Okay, think about that. I want you to multiply it by the last number that you wrote down. And I want you to add to that number, add the very first number of how much you're spending a month on lead gen. Okay, I want you to type in the chat, yes, if that number surprises you. You can even raise your hands. How many people is that number over $100,000? It surprises most people when they see that. It is so much money, and you're losing it every month because you are not doing the things that you actually need to be doing to build that trust. It is sometimes it's even sitting there. It's already been built and it's already real, and you have no process to activate it. So you keep paying to find strangers while the revenue that you already have is going quiet. Your front door and your back door are both open and they're both leaking. And when trust is visible, revenue moves. But when it's invisible, it doesn't just stall. You lose momentum because your business can never be at just one point. It's either going up or it's going down. So you need to choose. Would you rather it to be going up or going down? Because that gap will keep growing. So I want you to take you back to a time when there was this girl sitting in a hallway and she was clutching her books, sitting on the floor in front of her locker, wishing that no one would talk to her, but then hoping that somebody actually would. She was scared. But there is something that you don't know about those people who are shy. Those people who are shy, they notice the room, the whole room. This person notices what people need before they ever say it. And I was that person. I was that shy person in front of the locker, and I knew what people needed. I noticed what was going on around. Now I want you to think. Are you noticing what's going on in your business? Are you noticing what's going on with the people around you? So at 19, I started a business with no money, no marketing budget, no idea what I was actually going to do, seriously. But I started the business. I didn't learn from a business class. I learned face-to-face, building, guess what? Relationships, one at a time. I was an introvert, so I knew I needed to build strong relationships so I don't have to keep going out and, finding new clients. They would helpfully spread the word. So, after 1 year of doing this, knowing everybody's names, their kids' names, what's happening in their lives, I was able to cause all the other portrait studios in town to actually close their brick and mortar stores and do it from their homes and have every big contract. It wasn't because I had a system yet, but it's because I had already realized at that time that relationships are so crucial to the trust that you have in your life and in your business. So people started referring us in town. We didn't have to market. We didn't have a budget. That is not why people came. They came because of the relationships and the trust that we had built among all of these people. So caring is the root. But as I said, that's all I had at that point. But infrastructure is what makes this scale. And it's exactly what I want to show you today with real numbers. And I'm going to give you several examples so that you can see how this has happened. And then I want you to take notes, really good notes, on what these leaks are that you could have in your business. Because 32 years after I started that first business, I have never once seen a business fail because the owner didn't care enough. I have watched dozens fail because no one ever showed them where the trust was leaking in their businesses. That's what we're going to do the rest of the time. And first of all, we are going to start with the 3 biggest trust leaks in your business right now. So write this down. These are writer-downers, as Suzanne Evans would say. Your first trust leak is you are asking for trust before you have ever earned it. Every new relationship in your business starts with a signal. And before you say a single word about your offer, you are already telling people whether you trust them and whether they should trust you. I love that. I love it, Luke. Your content on social media, your conversations and events, and the way you show up in a room, how fast you respond, all of this is talking to your potential clients. And most of all, you have never listened to what it's saying because you thought it was all normal. You just kept doing it. And this is where it leaks. And the moment that you want the deal, the client contract. Sorry, my throat is so dry today. The client contract, the corporate room. Most people start asking for trust they have not earned yet. The pitch and the proposal. Can I grab 15 minutes? You lead the ask before you ever give anybody a reason to trust you and to say yes. So give me a yes in the chat if you have ever sent the "can I pick your brain" message and nothing happened. It was silence. Anyone had that? Anyone? Yes. Yes. Yes, Sherry. Crickets. It's awful. It's an awful feeling. And that silence is not rudeness. This is an ask that arrived before the trust did. It is withdrawn from an account that you never put anything into. And people feel that overdraft before they can even name it. Now let me show you the opposite. I have a large telco client. And I want you to hear how I got this client because I have never pitched to them. Never. Never gave them a pitch, not once. But in every interaction I had with their team, with their CEO and their people at events that I went to, at helping them with different things they were just have questions about. Because I was the representative of their telco on a board that I was on. So I would talk to them and never ever talk to them about what I did in my personal business. But I did one thing there. Every contact I built trust, and I never asked for the business. Then, a few months after I was making all these contacts with them at different events, they came to me and they asked if I would work with their teams because they had seen something on LinkedIn and saw that I helped teams. Yes, you can say I was wrong in never mentioning that before. But I had in one thing. When I was asked what I did in my personal life, I said I help teams to get along. So they wanted me to come in to help their team to be very efficient, to break down all the silos, to speed up decision making. That's what they wanted. So they came to me because I had built that trust. And when I got to the event, I was so humbled when the CEO said to all of the staff, he said, Roxy is here because she proved to me in every interaction that I ever saw her have with myself or anyone else, that she was trustworthy, that we could trust her. It was amazing. It felt like I was on cloud 9. And I don't say that to brag, but that is something that when you have this system dialed in, you will see the same thing. With this dozen small moments, I didn't sell anything. The difference between asking for trust and earning it is so huge. And in a corporate room where the person who hires you has to defend the choice to everyone above them, it is the whole game. And that is what most people get wrong. They think that the fix is more visibility, post more, show up more, get in front of more people, ask more people. But visibility is not trust. Being seen is not being trusted. I know people with 100,000 followers who cannot land a single corporate yes. And quiet consultants with a tiny list who get hired by name over and over again. The difference was never reach. It is whether every interaction made a deposit into the bank of trust or reached for withdrawal before the account was ever funded. So I want you to give me a 1 in the chat if you have ever been chasing the reach when you actually needed to build trust. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much. Blessed, thank you. Okay, the scary part. There's always a scary part, right, in business? It's something in the way that you show up right now, reaching for the deal before you have earned the right, leading with the ask, is quietly telling every new person, we do not trust each other yet. And they answer that signal with, guess what? A closed wallet. So, this week, I want you to spend 5 minutes meeting your business the way that strangers meet it. I want you to walk through your front door, not literally, but I want you to go through your posts, your profile, your first replies to people, the way that you show up in a room. I don't want you to analyze it. I want you to feel it. Does it feel like something that someone is earning trust? Or is it someone reaching for the ask? Think about that. Okay? Are you earning the trust or reaching out to ask? Then, what is the most impossible to catch on your own? Because you build it and it all looks normal, is exactly where the leak is and which one is costing you the most. It's the one costing you the most. So give me a 2 in the chat if you can do that. 5 minutes this week to work on that and envision your business as a potential client coming in to see what you give them. Okay, I love this. So many 2s. This is awesome. Okay, who wants to move on to the leak number 2? Okay, we're on a roll here. Give me a 3 if you want to hear what the leak 2 is. All right, here we go. You, my friend, cannot see the trust you have already built. This one costs you more than number 1 because the first leak costs you strangers. This one costs you the people that are already yours. Right now, there are people in your world who already trust you, and some of them are ready to buy. And you cannot see them. No, you can't see them. A warm relationship with no visibility is like money that's in a safe that you forgot the combination to. Anybody forgot the combination to anything? Yeah, I have like a dozen. I can't open because I don't know the combination. Okay? So I want you to envision that. So the money is real and it's yours and you can't touch it because you don't have trust that shows up in your metrics. There is no trust column on any dashboard that you own. You know why? Because the trust shows up in the behavior. So why can't you see it? Because you have been trained to watch the wrong numbers, right? The followers, the likes, open rates. You're asked to follow your operations, follow how much money is coming into the bank. But have you ever been asked to follow your trust? Think about it. Trust is the foundation of every business. Those other numbers are vanity. The likes, the followers, open rates, that's vanity. They tell you who is watching, but not who is ready. Trust never lands on a dashboard. It lands, yes, follow. It lands in a reply that came a little too fast. A referral you never asked for. And I was just telling someone about you. How many of you have found that? People have actually said in a room, I was just telling someone about you. Those are deposits into your bank. And the most of you are letting them pile up in an account that you never open. So I want you to think of one name of a person that you know keeps showing up for you, and just one, okay? Put a yes in the chat if you can think of one person who keeps showing up for you. Okay. I love it, Sherry, you're bestie. Okay, one person. Everybody can think of one person, right? So now, I want you to look at all those yeses. Okay? Every one of them is money that you've already earned. You've already earned it. One of my clients, a consultant, the kind who over-delivers and underprices, I keep trying to get them to raise their price, had a director from a mid-sized company in her world for 8 months. He came to every single workshop that she ran. He stayed till the end and asked questions. He posted on everything she put on LinkedIn, and he always asked these sharp questions in the room. And he took notes like it was the end of the world if he didn't. And one day, he said the words that should have set off an alarm in every building. I brought your name up to our leadership team last week. 8 months of him showing up, lending her his reputation inside his own company, leaning all the way in. And my client never made the offer. No. You know why? It's the same reason you haven't made yours. She didn't want to be pushy. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've ever sat on an offer because you didn't want to be pushy. I have. It's like something that haunts us, right? We don't want to be car salesmen. So almost every person in the room. So one afternoon, she and I made her trust visible. We put all of her people on paper and we wrote the names down the side and the behavior that they were doing across the top. And when we got to his row, every single box was checked in. My client stared at that row for a long time, and then she said something I will never forget. He's been waiting for me, hasn't he? So the next morning, she sent him a message that was very personal and warm, said, I've watched you show up for 8 months, and your team is exactly who I built this for. I think it's time for us to talk. Are you open to that? The reply came back before she finished her coffee. I thought you would never ask. So they got on a call that afternoon, and by dinner, she had signed a $48,000 contract for his entire team. 8 months of trust activated in 1 day, and the trust was already there. The revenue was already there, but she just couldn't see it. And that director wasn't annoyed at all. He was relieved that she had finally reached out. So who in your list are you missing that signal? And ignoring someone who is standing right there in front of you, that is rude. So what goes across the top of that paper? 3 signals. And I want you to write these down because this is what you're going to base your relationship behaviors on. Signal 1 is investment. Okay, it's not investment of money. It's the investment of time and attention that they are spending on you in the first column. In the next one, then the investment of money that they have spent on you. Signal 2 is your referral language. Are they lending you their reputation before you ever walk in the room, just like this director was? The third signal, repeated engagement. The same name showing up over and over again in your world. So if you see one of these, you pay attention to it. Start nurturing it. If you see 2 of these signals, I want you to lean in. And when you see all 3 of the trust signals, the trust isn't building anymore. It is there waiting for you. And every one of you has an 8-month person sitting right now in your world. And the part that should sting you a little bit is the person that does not wait forever. People don't wait. Every week you cannot see them is a week that someone else can. Trust is ready, and ignored does not stay ready. It goes looking where whoever finally will reach back, right? So I want you tonight, I want you to take 3 names, just 3, that have come to mind while we have been talking. The people who keep showing up, the commenting, the referring you. That is the beginning of your signal list. But 3 is the easy part. Almost every one of you has a dozen more sitting ready for you that you cannot see right now. And every name that you miss is revenue that you already earned going quiet in the dark. So get those 3, then start working on the rest. And do your trust signals. Okay, trust leak 3. The trust you already built is going cold on the shelf. This is the leak that hurts the most because this is the trust you've already paid for with your time and your energy, your care. And then life happened. Life happens to me. You got busy and 90 days went by without a word from you. Trust has a shelf life. And the cruel part is this, that trust does not send you a warning when it expires. There's no alert or red flag, there's no dashboard that the relationship is going cold. It just does. And one day you reach out and the warmth is gone and you cannot figure out why. Yep, shelf life, I know. Oh, Joyce, yes, we get in our way, yes. Sorry. It's just popping up. If you don't see this, it's gone. It did not leave because they stopped caring. It left because you went quiet. You did. And to them, silence reads as, I guess I was never that important to her. But they are. Give me a yes in the chat if there is a name in your head right now. Right now, you're going, oh my gosh. This person has been on my mind. I've been wanting to reach out to them for months, and I haven't. Okay? Yes, Sherry does. Yeah. Yes, Joyce does. Yes. That little tug that you just felt right now, that is the leak talking to you in real time. It's saying, get to work. So after 90 days, it's no longer even lukewarm. It's cold. All right? It's cold, and they don't buy cold. Okay? I don't want you to forget that. Because you forget them, and they fell out of your presence. And when their moment of need came, they hired whoever was in front of them that week. That hurts. Cold relationship does not stop buying. It stops referring. They'll buy somewhere else. And every warm relationship is a doorway to 10 more because they'll refer you, right? So why do you let that go cold? That number that you calculated back for the tax trust, it lives in this leak, right? So the answer is not a better CRM. I just used a spreadsheet for years. Just when I contacted someone, what we discussed. Staying in the relationship is infrastructure. It's 15 minutes a day, 3 to 5 touches with giving out your hand to help instead of pulling it in to ask. And when you tend to trust like that, it doesn't just hold its value. It compounds. How many of you want it to compound? I do. This is what compounding looks like with real numbers in real time. So years after I opened my portrait studio, I moved to Alaska and I knew no one. I had no connections whatsoever in Alaska, not a single person. And I got a contract to build a corporate sponsorships program for a very large event. And on my first day, they gave me a garbage box and they gave me a computer that was covered with plastic. That was it. And they asked me to go get sponsors. The program was currently at $164,000. And so I went back to the kid at the locker. I didn't ask strangers for money because I knew that I could build relationships. I knew it would take a little bit of time. So my first 6 months, you know what I did? I went out to every event that I could. Chambers, Rotaries, big events in the city. I live in Alaska, so I would travel to Anchorage and go to events. I started making connections with big guys in the corporate world. And they started inviting me to sit at their tables. After 6 months, on the 7th month, I didn't ask for anyone to come into this sponsorship program. They came to me asking me how they could be a part of it. They came to me. And best of all, they told all their friends about me and said, Roxy is so much fun, you have got to work with her. Or we invite Roxy to everything. That was because I had built those relationships. I had no marketing budget. I had no campaigns. I just built relationships and they came. So the first year, I doubled the 164,000. The next year, I doubled that number. On the third year, any guesses what I brought in the third year? $1 million that year. $1 million in 1 year, building relationships that I never asked. This is working with corporate execs. If you build that relationship and they have that trust, they don't hesitate to say yes. Is that something you want? Give me a 1 in the chat if that's something that you would love to have. Because it's not luck and it's not hustle. Yes, that is compounding interest. Wow, there's a lot of you. The consultants and coaches that are chasing strangers right now, they're just paying interest. You're just paying interest. And the ones that are tending their relationships, they're earning it. So now, before the week is out, I want you to let one name surface. Someone who trusted you, once, and they haven't heard from you in 90 days. Okay? Feel that tug again of, I should reach out. Okay? Now imagine that tug is multiplied by everyone that you have let go quiet. This is the leak that you can rewarm. You can do it. It takes effort, but you can rewarm it. And you can rewarm all of them. You just need to go back at building that trust. Okay? But I would start with those ones that are easy, the ones that are 90 days old, that you can go back and build that trust. So remember the door that I promised you at the very start? The one that opens the same way for one client or the whole company? Now watch, because I am about to hand you the key. Who wants the key? Give me a 2 in the chat if you want the key. Because the key is the difference between coaching income and corporate income. All right, we want it, right? So everything that I just talked about, the trust tax and the 3 leaks, I originally built for my own businesses. But now I have built it for entrepreneurs and coaches, people just like you. And I promise you it works. You might be wondering how I went from a photographer to consulting companies and helping them get their teams aligned and help them get along and leadership development. I did not change how I worked. I actually translated it. And that translation, taking the framework that you just learned and amplifying it. is so a corporation can invest in it, is what I walked through, and I want you to be able to walk through. Your work is already good enough. It's just wearing the wrong clothes, and it's meant for the wrong room with the budget. Or sorry, it's meant for it's the wrong room. Sometimes your brain fogs up. So let's take your inventory. Leak 1. If you have not written this down, write it down again. Your business is sending trust signals that you've never examined. Okay? Your business is sending those trust signals that you've never examined. Leak 2. You're sitting on trust that you cannot see. Okay? Sitting on trust you cannot see. 3. You have trust already there that you've earned that is going cold in the dark. So you've already earned it and it's going cold. These 3 leaks, all draining revenue, all invisible until about, 32 minutes ago. And the most expensive version of all 3 is the one we just translated. The corporate contract that you stopped chasing because your best work never got dressed for the room where the real budget was. Can you feel that? Now the thing that you should actually keep up, the thing that you should actually have keeping you up tonight is not the question, how do I fix these 3? But you think, I just gave these to you. Why would that not be the question? It actually is, what else in my business looks completely normal right now? And is it costing me everything? Because leading with the ask has looked normal for years. And the buyer who is waiting was invisible for 8 months. And you could not see through your own leaks. Not because you're not smart enough. We're all smart enough. But it's because you're standing right in the middle of it. And we have a hard time seeing where we stand in the middle. So you can't see it and it looks normal every day to you. And the trust leak does not send a bill. No, there's no invoice coming to you. And it shows up as a slow quarter or a referral that never came or a yes that turned into, let me think about that. Your number from the beginning, that was 1 month. Multiply it by 12. 1 full year. That is a year of paying the trust tax that no one is making you pay. No one's making you pay. We make you pay every other tax, right? People are made. But this is not being made to pay. And crossing your fingers that next year will be somehow different, or if I take another class, or if I hire another coach. Because hope is not a business strategy. So let me show you the other side of that mirror, because I did not come here to scare you. And I'll just leave you here. I came here to help. So give me a yes in the chat if you're tired, not lazy, never lazy, but you're just tired of working so hard and watching the results never quite match the love that you pour into your business. Acres of diamonds. Oh my gosh. I see you all, and I have been you. Everything has not been roses for me in my business, and I've had to learn. And this is what I want you to know that you may not know yet. You are not behind. You're not even broken. You are sitting on a fortune in trust that you've already built. And the only thing between you and it is visibility. So let me paint you the other side. Imagine opening your calendar and the calls are with people that already trust you. No convincing or chasing them. Imagine the referrals that just show up. You know exactly why. Because you tended the relationship on purpose. Imagine walking towards a company with a real budget on the table, and instead of hoping that they will see your worth, you hand them the numbers that they cannot argue with. Imagine your revenue stops depending on how many strangers you can find this month, and starts compounding on the trust that you've already learned. This is not a fantasy. This is simply what happens when trust becomes visible. And remember that 19-year-old? That's where it started with me. And I have watched I've watched others, and I've watched my life. I've looked back on it and found that the key to my business success with my several businesses that I have created comes down to building that trust foundation. Remember the client, $48,000? Remember that? That is you. People have been there all along. And you are the same you. You are the same heart, but you'll be using a different system. And this matters to me because I want everyone to have this. This has changed my life over the years, and it's the whole reason that I help other people to do it as well. So I gave you the 3 leaks, but today I have something more for you. For all of you who are in the room, I have a way for you to find those trust leaks. It's a great way, and it can help you with getting individual clients or your corporate clients. So put a yes in the chat if you want this. Who wants this freebie? Yes, yes. Okay. This is going to help you to see where that trust is leaking so you can build it. All right? You can build it up. But first, I need to tell you my method name. My method is trust. Oh, wow. Imagine that. But there are 5 elements to trust. First is target. Target who you know is in your world, and target those who you would like to be in the world. Reveal. Map out where those relationships are so that you can, 3, unlock it and ask without it being a true old-time ask. S is serve. You can serve them up. You can give them what they need because you know what they need, and you can tend to those relationships. That is a method that I walk through every day in my business, and it's the whole reason that revenue starts to repeat instead of restart every month. So now you've got that method, and information is very important, but until you implement it, it's just expensive entertainment. So you've got beautiful notes, and 10% of this room will act on this. 10%. 10% of you will take me up on this offer I have for you, this tool, and 90% will, yeah, I should do that. And they don't act. So I have 2 ways for you to leave this session. You can either leave with your notes, or you can leave with your leaks found. So today, every single person will get the Trust to Profit assessment, which Erin has so graciously put in the chat. In about 5 minutes, it is going to show you exactly where you are losing the trust, where those gaps are. And it will give you a profile for you to begin. And you will get a whole document sent to you of the profiles. And you will be able to see what you need to do to take action on. So that next time you step on a stage, or you walk into a room, or you get a call, you are ready to sell without ever sounding like you are selling to them. So grab the link. But I have something even better. For those of you who are fast action takers, fast action always pays, right? The first 19 of you to take this survey, or this, not a survey, sorry, this assessment, you will get a free VIP pass to my next mastermind class, where I will dive in to those 5 areas of trust and help you to be able to find those people who are waiting for you to come knock on their door. And even better, for those of you who are VIP, or this might change you, maybe you'll want to be a VIP after this, I have what I call the Door Opener Workbook. It is the exact process that I use to carry my work through, so that I can have those people right there at my fingertips, and I can build those relationships. So download it now. Click on it right now. Click on both of those right now. You can leave them up in your tabs if you want. Or as we're asking questions, you can start to take that survey. And you can have it done before the next speaker even comes on stage. How about that? So give me a yes if you are excited to have these tools to help you out so that you can get those contracts that you have wanted to get. Yes, yes. Okay, one more thing. This one has a hard edge. It's only for the first 19 that take the diagnostic there to find your leaks. Only the first 19. So if you're a fast action taker, you'll get that. But also, you notice I didn't have any slides today. Well, guess what you get if you're an action taker at all? If you download any of the links, the VIP or the other or both, I will send you a full document on what I talked to you today about, the 3 trust leaks. And I will give you extra for my trust method. You'll get that all. That is a great bonus because I charge my clients a lot of money to do this. And you're going to get it for free just because you're here in Erin's group at this amazing summit that has been put on for you. So, who's in? Who's ready to do this? It starts tonight.
Roxy, thank you so much. Can we put some love in the chat for Roxy? What a beautiful presentation.
Well, thank you.
I, for one, felt like I was getting stabbed by a knife every time you talked about one of those trust leaks. Like, oh,
I'm sorry.
absolutely. Been there. Ooh, that one hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And I love your entire emphasis on trust because we certainly are living in the trust economy. You've got fake news and fake AI, and who do we trust, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the foundation of everything that you're presenting is just so relevant for
Mm-hmm.
what needs to happen now. And so beautiful message, great
Oh,
job.
thank you.
Really love having you. And I have to
Thank
imagine we have a bunch of questions.
One thing I want to say, because this is so true. Like, all right, so people are like, follow up. Oh, I don't want to feel pushy. I will tell you how many clients I've gotten from going, you've bought my TEDx workshop, you bought my 12-week course, you bought my this, you bought my that. Maybe we should just work together because what it feels like is you're struggling with implementation and
Mm-hmm.
accountability. So why wouldn't you just hire me? Because you would have got all of that in my package. And she goes, yep. So what would that be? Because that's what I
Mm-hmm.
actually need. And she was just buying one-off things. And when I actually gave her the solution, which would be to work with me at a higher level, she was excited. And that's what I think a lot of you are missing out on. It's not pushy when you're like, I know I can help you. And so why can't we
Exactly.
just get on a call and chat it out? So
That's
great
what we
job.
do. We serve, right? And building that trust made it so that you were able to do that because they trusted you. And anything that comes out of your mouth, when they trust you, they're going to jump on it. Because I have clients that just say, what's the next thing that you can give me? What's the next thing? Because we want more. And that's how you get lifetime customers and clients. So, yes.
Absolutely. Looks like Joyce has a question.
Okay.
Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, thank you so much. Great information,
Thank you.
Roxy. Trust. I trust you. I don't trust you. Don't know if I trust you, and I don't care to say.
Okay. I get
Yeah,
it.
that's a process we used to use in the training that we did, and
Mm-hmm.
it was amazing to get people to open up.
Yeah.
But the moment you mentioned trust, I went, "What is she talking about?" So I just went to the questions and it doesn't seem to open up. I clicked on it and I don't know how to write in it. Am I doing
Oh,
something?
to write in the VIP?
Yeah. Do I need to
Okay.
be a bit? No, I went
Um,
to,
I'll check on that and I will send it to you. Something may have gotten messed up in the
Let me
link. It
look.
may have been the wrong
Yeah,
one.
I'll be looking over here. I'll go do that over on site.
would you
Yeah.
look? Because when I click on it, I don't see how to write or to answer the question.
Okay. Let me check that right
Let me
now. I've had some computer issues today. That's no slides.
Hey,
Let's
you missed
see.
it. I don't know if you were here earlier when I had to do a corporate, I had to close a corporate deal. Couldn't get on another Zoom and just ended up old school calling their office to headquarters and picking up the phone to call. So
Mm-hmm.
it's for everybody. It
Yeah,
happens.
it
It's
does.
what you do
And
with it.
yeah, and it just proves that we're all real and we're all here.
Yeah, so maybe it's me. I don't know. Did you check it, Aaron?
I am on
Let
it.
me.
So I was gonna say this
I'm
is
going to
when I open
redo
it.
this.
Oops, that's not the right page.
Let's
Maybe it's
see.
just me and my computer.
So did you go to this page? Is this the
Oh,
page?
that is
No,
not
the
the.
one
I
the
wonder
one
how
that
you
you
got
put
that.
in.
You know what? I'm going to
Uh-uh.
I
put the
think that
new.
one's still in there.
I'm going to put the new links in there because that is not the right link. I have
Yeah,
help, and
thank you.
I don't think they put the right link in there. So I am so sorry. You know what?
Sorry.
I will extend this 19. If you get it, if you actually download, I'll hurry and put it together while the next speaker's going, and then I'll in the chat I will let you know when it's live again, since it's the wrong one. And whoever does it, I will give you those extra bonuses today.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Joyce. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I was able to open the link above in the chat and start the diagnostic. I didn't finish it because I'm trying to pay
Okay.
attention here, but at least I was able to open it and get it started.
The page
Yeah.
that's supposed to go to?
Yes, that's the one
Yeah.
it's supposed to
Okay.
go to. Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. I'm gonna just copy that real quick. Just let me get
Yes.
back out of share. I
Thank
just want to make
you.
sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I
Thank
had
you.
help with my application and stuff, and they didn't quite get things right. We found
That's
out
All
today.
okay.
right.
You know what? You don't have to be perfect to have this, to do this
Yeah.
kind of business, right? People,
Nope.
like that's the beautiful thing. That's what makes you relatable. All right,
Hmm,
there you go.
exactly.
There's the link. Make
Thank
sure that
you.
one works.
All right. And Ilka, do you have a question?
Yes, I put it there that I kept clicking on that and I answered most of the questions, I believe, from the diagnostics, but then it stopped. So I have sunshine in my eyes and it just doesn't want to go through and it keeps circling. One little dot keeps circling, where the yellow thing is, and it doesn't let me continue.
It might be because you're on Zoom right now and your internet speed might not be fast enough for you to be able to do that.
So how I do it? Do I copy and paste it and then put it in an email and try it again?
Oh, you know what? When you're not on Zoom, you should be able to go fill that out, but I will put your name down so that
We'll make sure you
you
get that.
definitely get
Yeah.
that.
So
Yes, I'm
Ilka,
so sorry.
after
So
we
Ilka,
have one
yes.
speaker left, and so after we're off, just try it. And if you don't get it, just send me an email and I'll make sure you get what you want. Okay?
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and thank you
Yes.
for the kind comments. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's have love for Roxy one more time in the chat, please. Beautiful
Thank you.
presentation. Thanks, Roxy.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay and Aaron. Thank you so much for letting me do this.
So before we bring up the next people, I just wanted to give a shout out. I put it in the chat. 3 people decided after the last session to enroll and register and upgrade. So I am excited for you guys. I'm excited to, like I said, I see that you guys have some real struggles and you might want some one-on-one time to just kind of plan that out and maybe get some of those questions answered. So I'm happy to do that. I don't normally do that, but I thought, while we're here and some of the questions that kept coming up were things like that with messaging. So I made sure that was included in the VIP. So we have so much more coming up. But Jay, let's talk about some of the other things, exciting things before we shift over to Simon today that we're working on.
Yeah. So in 2 weeks or a week and a half, I guess now, 2 weeks, we're going to do a 4-day challenge. So Aaron and Stephen Rowell, you haven't met Stephen today because he had a family emergency that he had to tend to, but you'll meet him tomorrow and Thursday. The three of us are doing a 3-day challenge
4 day,
where we're going
4 day
to dive.
challenge,
Whoops.
4 day.
We're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the stuff that we've started to address today. Aaron, what else are we going to be doing in that 4-day
Yeah.
challenge?
The beautiful thing is, and maybe I can just open this page, and that's not the right page. So let me get out of that one. But like, this is truly where let me stop sharing and just open the right page because I have so many pages open. I'm working behind scenes on everything else, right? That's what we do. But we have a 4-day challenge that's coming up. And the beautiful thing is, this is some of the things we're going to be working on. Corporate authority positioning. How does someone look at you as a corporate buyer? How are they looking at you? Are you using their language? Does your website land with that? Does your authority build that? We're going to be doing that August 18th to the 21st. Each day it's clarity of message. We were talking about some of that. If you're struggling with making sure your message is in there, we're going to go understand the game that you're playing in the corporate world. Then we're going to talk about solution positioning, making sure your offers are the solution to their problems. Day 3, offers that corporations buy. Explore all of the options. There might be some you're not thinking about. Executive roundtables, facilitating masterminds, being able to go in and do assessments, being able to go in and do like I'm doing a leadership assessment to teach this new deal that I just closed today to send them on to bigger things. So there are some really cool things and larger offerings that you can offer that maybe you haven't thought about. And maybe you haven't thought about it because you're thinking my money equals time, and that's the only play, and that's not. And so we want you to think of courses, content. Do you know that they'll pay for internal newsletters for you to contribute to their newsletters? There are so many options that you can't even imagine, but we're going to go through all of those in those 4 days. So not only we're going to look at your own positioning, marketing, messaging, and what people are buying and the price points they're buying, so that you know and you're well equipped with not only what they're buying, but how much they're spending on it so that you can pitch yours as well. So we'll be doing that August 18th to the 20th, and we'll be excited to have you there as well.
And then, if you'd like to even dive deeper in September, so basically in about a month and a half, we're going to be doing a 3-day virtual event where we're going to do 3 full days of diving into the implementation of all of these kinds of things we're talking about here in the summit and the things we'll be talking about on the challenge. So if you want to mark your calendar for that, it is September 17 through 19. Did I get that right without
Yep.
looking? Hey, that's amazing. 17 through 19 of September. If you want to just block out time on your days for that, if you are serious about growing a speaker business to 6 figures and possibly well beyond, don't miss that 3-day event that we're going to be doing in September. But first up will be the challenge that we're doing, the 4-day challenge in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And that 3-day, we'll talk about that at the end of this 3 days. I wanted to leave that for in, but I love that we're just kind of telling you what's coming next. You know, everybody wants to know what's next for me. What are my next steps to doing this? How do I implement this? How does this relate to my business? Really going into that. And that 3 days that's what we're going to be doing. And so you'll have way more access to just the 3 of us be doing the teaching and actually working through some of this stuff alongside of you. So this is more like implementation and getting that stuff done. So keep those dates available, but we'll tell you more at the end of the 3 days. I'll close it out with some of those things we're offering. But you know, I really want you guys to really start thinking, okay, maybe you took that corporate scorecard at the beginning of the day and you saw that maybe you were missing some of those things. Well, the challenge might help you do that. Some of the gifts that I offered in my VIP gift, the licensing your content to corporations, is an entire playbook with scripts, templates, everything you need inside the VIP gift, because I want you to be able to say, hey, I have this course. I need to monetize it. I need to take it out to corporations so that I don't have to be the one-to-one delivery anymore. Like I said earlier in the day, I'm not always the secret sauce. My content's the secret sauce, but I can be out there for all of their employees throughout the entire year and renews annually. So those are all the beautiful things that are coming. And we just want you to keep taking those steps. If you don't know what you're offering yet, that's okay. This is each step of this. You're getting high level content and all these different ways that other people are getting into the corporate, how they're positioning, how they're, leading with, are they leading with assessments first? Are they leading with speaking first? Are they leading with keynotes first, workshops, whatever those are. And so you're kind of seeing behind the strategies of these stories and some of the content that you can use. And then as we go further, your next step is, is, okay, I need the challenge. I need this 3-day event because we know that they're going to start making those decisions, right? So this is the time to start. That Q4 is when they make those decisions and spend that money. So you are in the perfect place right now as we're in Q3 going to Q4, that's where they're making those decisions. So you want all the content, stick around because we have a lot of that. And I'm really excited to bring up our next speaker.